How's it going, guys? So, me, Saidan and Sloppy recorded a video talking about Minecraft and Creativerse and what separates them as games. Unfortunately, my video utterly failed to record properly, so I'm gonna have to give you something other than what we recorded at the time to go over the audio. And what we're working on is building around here. We did some work on the walls, so I thought I might just continue some work on the castle here, and you can watch me build that alone rather than with two other people, and the conversation will still be there. So, unfortunately, that happened, so sorry about that. You still get the discussion though, and I hope you enjoy the video. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Creativerse discussion video, I guess we'll call them. I'm here with Saidanmaster and Sloppy, and we are in my world for a change. And today we're going. Oh, oh, you're gonna die again. Well done.
Maybe.
Today we're going to be discussing the controversial topic of what is the difference between Minecraft and Creativerse, and what one does various things better. So, yeah.
Oh boy, we're gonna get some comments on this one.
Yep, it's a controversial topic, and a lot of people say that you can't compare Minecraft and Creativerse, but I really disagree. I think there's a lot of conclusions you can come to about various different things to do in similar games that you can't come to unless you compare stuff. And Saidan had a pretty good analogy for this, actually. If you'd like to share.
Something that always comes to mind whenever people are like, Creativerse or Minecraft clone, blah, blah, is pretty much every first-person shooter ever is a clone of Doom and Wolfenstein, that kind of thing. Like, those came first, and then everybody copied them because everybody liked them. So it's a similar thing with this. It's just Minecraft is the Doom of this genre.
Yeah,
and it's become extremely popular, and everybody's like, all right, let's make a good thing, and this is one of the good ones, I think.
Yeah, and it is the Doom of the genre, not the Wolfenstein, because the Wolfenstein was most likely something like Infiniminer.
Yeah.
Who Notch admitted himself was a game that inspired him. And it could also be said that something like, it's even been said that things like Infiniminer and Minecraft even have some connection to things like Dwarf Fortress, even though those are completely different games.
Yeah.
But yeah, a big thing is Doom and Quake, they were derivative, but that wasn't a bad thing. They improved on the genre, and then other people improved on them.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like, when Minecraft got really popular, I was thinking, oh, this is really good, because I enjoy Minecraft. I hope that lots of people copy it, and there'll be competition to make it better. Like, that was my big hope, going, yeah, okay, lots of people are going to copy this, obviously, and that means sooner or later someone will do it better.
Exactly.
And it will become a genre that evolves. So, yeah, I don't personally see Creativerse or Minecraft as being better than each other. I actually see them as being kind of even right now. They both do different things better than each other. And on Creativerse's side, I think its strengths lie in its ease of use. You can just install it and play. You don't have to worry about anything like what Java version you're running. The launcher is just, like Minecraft is actually quite confusing to set up and get working. And Creativerse is just there, and everything just works. And it has a lot of customizable options that, again, just work. It's all very simple and easy to use. So I'd say that's Creativerse's really strong point. Also, that it's so easy to play multiplayer like we are right now. Playing Minecraft multiplayer is a chore that you need to have some technical expertise to get working. You can't just hop on multiplayer and play. If you don't have either a very well-run server that you can join, or some technical expertise to set one up, and that is not simple. You can't play multiplayer.
Okay, I will. Two things. One, I mean, Minecraft's expanding so rapidly to other platforms that aren't PC. Like, starting a server on an Xbox is clicking a button and you have a multiplayer server.
Well, yeah, okay,
so I do
yeah.
think Minecraft has ease of use. It's not on PC yet.
Yeah.
Although they did sort of do that with Realms. If you pay for Realms, it's a very easy, well-run server.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you've got a well-run server you can join, whether it's Realms or a private one, it is as simple as clicking a button. But it's but like, you know,
think downloading and launching Minecraft, you download the launcher, you launch the game.
It's
I would almost say it's easier than downloading Steam for the first time.
It can be, yeah, but like there's a lot of issues that can crop up if you're not aware of what Java version you're using and things like that. And you'd be surprised how many people have trouble with Java and figuring out what version they've got. I mean, it's simple to a lot of us, but the thing is that Creativerse can pull in those people who don't want to worry about any of those issues. Because with Creativerse, it is just, you double-click on the install button, or even not double-click, I don't remember if you have to or not, wait for it to install, and then run it. And there's just not going to be any problems. Like, if you're running 10-year-old Java, Minecraft will not be happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, your computer won't be happy about that.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, if you weren't playing Minecraft before, it's entirely possible you don't use things that use much Java, and you just might not be aware of it.
I mean, you're just saying, I mean, it's essentially just saying Minecraft, so it's easier to use Steam than it is Minecraft.
Well, no,
which is, you know, fair.
Yeah, I'm saying ease of use is...
I think Minecraft is improving on that.
Also, oh, it is, yeah. I just think it's...
Ever since Microsoft got the Xbox and like all the other platforms becoming way more prevalent in Minecraft.
Yeah, well, I think for comparison, if we're going to be talking about Creativerse, we should probably assume we're going to be talking about Minecraft on the same platform, because of course different platforms are different markets.
Yeah.
So I assume that we will be discussing PC, because again, the people who are playing Creativerse, they might not have an Xbox, so if they're going to be playing Minecraft, they're mostly going to be playing on a PC.
Yeah.
So
I guess, but
I just feel like ease of use is a big strong point for Creativerse, and I would say the flip side of that is the strong point that Minecraft has over that is currently customizability. Creativerse wants to be really highly customizable in the future, and it's doing well in that regard, but especially with mods, I feel like Minecraft still has the crown when it comes to just how much you can shape it to be what you want it to be.
Yeah. I think that's... Whenever I have discussions like this with friends or whatever, it always comes down to that Minecraft has the upper hand when it comes to the player-created content with mods.
Exactly, yeah.
Maps and that kind of thing. Of course, in the maps aspect, they've recently added adventures. Well, somewhat recently.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's actually a really good system as well.
Yeah, that kind of fills the gap. And that kind of... another thing with the ease of use, that's a lot easier to install or to play a Creativerse adventure than it is to download and install a Minecraft map.
Yeah.
Speaking of Java version, of course.
Yeah, you don't have to consider any other data other than, oh, this is an adventure, I want to play it. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, whereas with maps, you do kind of, like, it's a lot more simple now that you have multiple Minecraft instances in one launcher. But before that, you could easily end up trying to run a map that would just be broken.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's not difficult to fix, but it's still an issue that, oh, this is an older map, I'm going to have to install a second instance of Minecraft, or is in the current launcher, set up a new profile. Whereas with Creativerse, it's all on kind of one instance. You can just run it without any problems.
Yeah.
That said, though, there are still kind of more things you can do with Minecraft maps for map makers.
Yeah.
But again, Creativerse will most likely be implementing most, if not all, of those features eventually.
A lot of benefit Minecraft has as well with the maps aspect is like they have custom worlds, of course, creative mode, and stuff like MC Edit as well. So you can copy paste structures easy. You can
Yeah.
place down blocks, like change metadata easily with that.
Yeah, although we should point out that's a third-party program and not actually part of Minecraft
Yeah.
itself. So that's
Yeah,
another
but it's
thing
still-
that modding does for it, which is, yeah. But again, that's really important. Like, Minecraft can be customized. You can turn it into practically whatever you want it to with enough expertise and enough mods.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
yeah.
even to its credit, with creative mode and the tools they have in place, you can essentially turn it if you want without installing anything.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Is customizability is really its advantage. And I call that customizability because I hear a lot of people saying that the advantage Creativerse has is customizability, and I actually disagree. I'd say it's the advantage it could have in the future, but currently it isn't an advantage for Creativerse.
I think the huge advantage in that aspect is that Creativerse has is the potential.
Yeah. Again, that's a big thing for a lot of games is potential.
Yeah.
For a lot of games in Creativerse's position, that is. Another interesting one is one of the things I hear a lot. It's possibly the most often said thing, other than the difference in graphics, which obviously Creativerse has much nicer default graphics, and it has a shading, a much better lighting engine built into it, which isn't glitchy like shader mods for Minecraft.
Although it is pretty glitchy.
Well, yeah, but it works. It works to the untrained eye. You know, if you're looking at it just casually right now, you know, there's shadows that are based on the position of the sun, and it all just kind of works. And when I move, things don't flicker massively. So it works. But what people say, the second most common thing people say to that is how many blocks there are. And I'm going to say, I think with current Minecraft versions, especially with 1.12, it's now, but in 1.11 as well, I think Minecraft actually has more blocks than Creativerse does. I haven't done a count, but
Does it?
pretty sure it
I
does.
think so. They'd probably be very similar, but I would think Minecraft, because I mean every colored block has 16 variations.
Exactly, yeah. That's the main thing, is people forget just how many different color variations there are. So I felt I should mention that, because whenever I go through discussions, I see people talking about how Creativerse has more blocks, and I just don't think it's actually true.
I also think Minecraft has the edge in blocks, because I feel like their blocks go together a lot better than, like, Creativerse kind of created sets of blocks.
That's a
The
good
Grecian
point.
ones, I mean, they organize them by sets, right? Wood, stone, Grecian. Whereas I feel like Minecraft, the blocks blend together a lot better.
Yeah, it works in broader themes.
I think that's part of the benefit of having the lower resolution textures.
Oh yeah.
That helps a ton with having blocks look better together, or a more variety, a larger variety of blocks looking better together.
Oh, it does actually, yeah. Especially I find if I'm playing on a high resolution texture pack in Minecraft, it's much harder to much harder to get like wildly different blocks to work together.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna actually start building wool.
I'm kind of just touring your.
Oh yeah, have a look
That's
around.
kind of what I'm doing as well.
Yeah, we were gonna help Curious build his wall, but
And then you just didn't.
to be honest, I was looking in the chest and I was like, I don't have the brain capacity right now to deal with learning the pattern of that wall, so I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah,
run around
that's
like an idiot.
fair. It's quite a headache of a design. Yeah. Yeah, I try to build on the
Try
complicated
to
side.
look online to see how many blocks there are in the game, but I'm not finding anything.
Yeah, I can't find a total for Creativerse.
Or for Minecraft, at least.
Well, Creativerse, you can craft 281 things.
But
Some of those are.
yeah, do we include things like, you know, swords and things like that in a block count is the thing.
Yeah.
And
But
then
even still, let's say like
yeah.
what, 220, 250, somewhere around there.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
blocks tab, there's items 284.
284. Okay, cool. That's good.
But that's counting stuff like lanterns, torches.
Yeah, I think they're legitimate though. Like they're things
yeah.
you would build with. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Like furniture
Yeah.
is fair.
I will say the
Minecraft.
rotation system in Creativerse gives it a huge.
Yeah, that's another thing.
that's a
Yeah.
nice boost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rotation is huge.
Counting all the items, there are currently 726 IDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's counting stuff like potions and
Yeah.
there's-
And there's more like potions and stuff like that in Minecraft than there are in Creativerse, so that's going to be a bigger cut.
Well, I don't know. If you count all the food in this game, it might be close.
Yeah, if you
There
count
are the-
food, there might be more
I
food in
think there's
Creativerse. I'm
something
not
like
sure.
45 or something different types of food.
Yeah.
There's nothing else in this game, but
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, the thing is, if one wins over the other, they're not going to be winning by a huge amount.
and they're
I
both
think
adding new
something-
stuff.
Yeah,
Something that would be, I think would be an interesting comparison would be Minecraft along the same development cycle when it was on the same development stage as Creativerse is now.
yeah, and that would
Because
be
a huge thing Minecraft has over Creativerse is just how long it's been out and how much time they've had to improve upon.
oh yeah, that's the thing.
features and stuff like that.
That's the thing is a lot of people when they're comparing a game, they don't take that into account, or they take it into account a little bit too much, and that I'm probably doing a bad job of explaining this idea because I'm really tired. But yeah, like at this point in development, for example, Minecraft didn't even have a jungle biome. It was in 1.0, and it did not have like that at all. And there's a lot of other things it was missing out as well. A lot of the depth in its redstone system wasn't added yet. It only had the very bare minimum.
But I don't think it's unfair to compare the two games in current form because, I mean, technically, this is the official release of Creativerse. Yeah, they're going to update it still. But what's the official launch of Minecraft wasn't that long ago when they officially got out of beta.
Well, yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I was going to say that's where that's the other side to it, where we should try not to be too aware of when a game released. Because, you know, it's still, if you're going to choose what to play now, a game that's been out for longer, you know, sometimes that's going to affect your decisions as well. They've put more into it.
I find the building games are also, I mean, they've all basically centered around Minecraft. I know there was derivatives before that, but Minecraft basically started the genre into mainstream. And I find it interesting because, you know, Battlefield 1, for example, I was playing yesterday. It comes out, yeah, there's DLC, but the game's out. That's the game. Those are the guns, blah, blah, blah. Like, any building game that's come out, I mean, we were talking about Cube World earlier, me and Saidan.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, building games, it's like, oh, it comes out, okay, there's going to be, what's the standard now? 5 years of development where we keep adding things? It's like, at what point is there ever going to be a finished building game, or are we just going to keep adding blocks until nobody plays it anymore, sort of thing?
Yeah, that's an interesting
It's a
comparison.
relatively new genre in the grand scheme of...
It follows a similar development cycle to MOBAs like that, where while the game is active, development is still active.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're balancing, you're adding new things.
So yeah, like so when you're comparing a game, you have to factor in not just where it is at currently with its development, but also where it could be in the future. And you have to kind of find a way to balance those against each other, which can be difficult sometimes.
So I'm trying to pull up all of the version history, just for the sake of research and comparison.
Oh yeah.
I'm still having a hard time. Client updates. There we go. I'm having a hard time trying to find when the first release of Creativerse was. I think it was 2015.
I believe it was.
Um,
It was in development. I think at one point they said 2013, right? They started
Yeah.
development on it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Minecraft was only what 2011, I want to say.
Nope.
The first
Mojang.
release of Minecraft was 2009.
Yeah.
2009.
May 2009.
And it was in development for, I think, about, 3 months or something before that. It wasn't a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
Before,
Well, like development with quotations, because it was
yeah, it was a hobby
I
project.
mean,
Yeah.
it was a guy sitting in an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Creativerse's whole development cycle has been a full team, has it not?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
But the so the first 1.0 out of beta release of Minecraft was in 2011. So that was 3 years, right? No, 2 years. I can't math. Yeah, so 2 years, and then from 2015 to 17, that's 2 years as well. So it's just in terms of time, it's about the same time it took them to get out of beta.
Yeah, it's not leaps and bounds different, at least. Yeah.
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 So.
And I think just in terms of the time that these different games came out, Creativerse has the benefit of learning from Minecraft's mistakes, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. Again, it has the opportunity to be its Quake,
Yeah.
where it tries to like move the genre ahead, and that's an important thing. And that's really when I was playing Minecraft in like 2012. That's what I was hoping for. I was going, oh yeah, this is great. I can't wait for the game that will move it forwards, and. Creativerse might be that game. It's not necessarily that game yet, I don't think, but it certainly has the potential to do it if it, gets lucky and does the right things.
Yeah.
I do think,
But
though...
what does move this genre forward actually mean? That's what I don't fully understand.
Well, getting it...
Like, where does this genre go forward? I mean, it's building, it's designing, blah, blah, blah.
Well, think about, for example, we can go back to the shooter comparison. You can think about Wolfenstein and Doom, and then you can think about more modern shooters, whether you like them or not. Things like the Half-Life games, the Call of Duty games, the Battlefield games. You can see that there's a big difference between those more recent games and the games that started the genre. And it can be hard to quantify what moving it forwards is, so... but I think that would qualify.
I think at the same time, I don't think during or when Doom came out and when they were making Doom, I don't think I don't know if they really knew where the genre would go from there.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't know if there was any idea of that. So I think it's in the same aspect. I don't think we really know where this kind of thing will go.
Well, no, and that thing is, it could end up not being a genre. It could be a thing which is a very temporary kind of interest in the gaming community and dies out in 5 years. It really could be. And it's very difficult to tell what will happen with that, because lots of things in the past which have not been expected to be like popular things have become popular things.
Case in point, Minecraft.
Yeah, and I think actually early on, strategy games as well, like real-time strategy games. I don't think there were many of the big people in the industry that expected that to ever become something more than a very niche market. But now we have a lot more people playing them.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of publishers that wouldn't publish strategy games. They're going, no, it's not ever going to be a seller. We're not gonna work with this. And then, over time, people get more and more interested in it. I think in many ways, almost anything has the potential to become a genre in gaming because it is such a rapidly growing industry that basically anything you can get people playing is quite likely to become a genre eventually, whether a big or a small one.
we've also seen genres come back this year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Stardew Valley, that was a dead genre. Nobody played those games anymore. All of a sudden, what do you sell? 4 million copies or something absurd?
Yeah, yeah. Although I'm not surprised by that one because I was aware of a certain level of nostalgia for games like that. And that's the thing is, Stardew Valley is not necessarily a young person's game. Its market is people who played the older ones. So the question is whether it's a nostalgia hit or whether you know, it will continue on to younger gamers much, because I don't think it really has yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, but again, you know, like everyone I know who played Stardew Valley was a fan of Harvest Moon and was like, oh yeah, this is more Harvest Moon. But again, that might be getting a bit off topic.
I don't think a lot of the new games, though. I mean, like, there's a lot of games that make their money off nostalgia.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's a perfectly legitimate way to go. It's just that is not necessarily something that will carry on infinitely. It depends. It is a lot of variables about whether that nostalgia will carry on to the next generation of gamers or not. And that's another thing which is very difficult to quantify in gaming, because we are still largely it's still an industry where the first generation of real gamers are still out there playing games. So there's still a market influence. Whereas like in film, you know, and stuff like that, you know, and the first people who enjoyed film, they're long dead.
Yeah.
Like, you could say, at most, what would you say there would be? 3 generations of gamers at this point?
Yeah, something like that.
I'd probably say more going back to, like, Pong.
Well, yeah, okay, maybe you could stretch it back to, yeah.
How long ago was
Even in just of, like, waves of technology, let's say you had the early one, and then the earliest consoles. I don't think there's a ton of people who are, like, the early console enthusiasts that still, like, drive a major market.
Well, not a major market, no.
Well, market, sure, but I mean, you could say that in film, there's a market for, you know, black and white movies or strange 40s themed type things.
Well, you could argue that the first Captain America film was a a 40s themed thing.
I don't. The thing with that one though is it's not really that's not really the focus of the movie.
Oh no.
Being a.
I didn't mean like a
40s
film that takes place in the 40s. I meant in terms of like the themes around the movies, like the style of shooting and such.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you're talking
Like,
about
there's a market
cinematography,
for,
yeah.
like, flashback nostalgia of movies. I mean, how many?
I think
How many
Stranger
shitty
Things
remakes
kind
are
of
they
fills
doing?
that.
The Stranger Things was nostalgia to its core.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of
From what I've heard from.
You've never seen it?
No, I've seen it.
Okay.
But
Thought
from
that's
what
what
I've
you were
heard,
trying to say.
from what I've heard from some of the actors and stuff, it's the directors and stuff were very, very good at trying to capture the nostalgia of the time period.
I mean, they used 80s synths just to get the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I must admit, I have not watched it myself.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not a big
I heard
TV
this
buff.
call. I'm out of here.
I'm not a big TV buff, but yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about its nostalgia kind of aspect. But again, we might be getting like massively off topic again.
I think we have been for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't understand. I understand they want control over their game. That's great.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think not allowing modding to a certain degree is like the big mistake that I think Creativerse is making, because that's essentially, I mean, it still drives a lot of Minecraft's popularity, but it was also a lot of the popularity at the start of Minecraft. Was like, oh, look at all this crazy stuff we can do.
Yeah, I actually
I
wanted to
think
bring up that exact point at some point. So I totally agree. I think that modding is a big part of it, and for better or worse, will be a big decider.
Yeah, I can understand keeping. I like the idea of having adventures inside of the game. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be.
But until they give us the tools that can, like, I know they've talked about basically giving us tools that can replace a lot of the mods that happen in Minecraft.
Mm.
You know, the ability to create custom mobs and rule sets and blah blah blah. But until they put those in, like, we don't have them. So
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
and at least for me, a big part of the mods was the kind of stuff that I very much doubt a free-to-play game that wants to sell premium content would want in their game. Stuff like you know, of Minecraft, you had all the tech and magic mods that completely changed the way you play the game. And currently, I can't see those being kind of very welcome for one very simple reason, that if we had something equivalent to blood magic or industrial craft or something like that in Creativerse, it would completely overshadow premium content.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be a limitation on it.
That's kind of. Yeah, I think that's part of where a lot of where they don't want the modding thing to come about is because they have their own vision, I guess, for the game. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
No, that's the thing, is like,
But yeah, I think that's a huge issue.
their vision for the game does
Just
put
their
it puts necessary limitations on the extent to which people can customize their own game. In regards to modding, at least, because they want to be able to monetize things, which is completely fair. I mean, that's the thing. A company, they deserve to be able to do that. But because of that need to monetize things through microtransactions, there's a certain limit to how much they can let players give themselves. Because if we can just mod anything into the game, then I can't see many people buying much.
yeah.
And again, there's the question of whether they could monetize mods, and have like mod makers sell mods, and they could take a cut maybe of the profits of that, and that could be part of their business model. And it's okay, they can try that, and it will be interesting, because if they succeed at doing that, they would be the first company to my mind to ever successfully do that.
I think actually they announced recently with Minecraft on Windows 10 and Xbox and stuff, they're adding like a marketplace kind of thing.
Yeah, I've heard about that as
Marketplace
well.
Mod makers, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't think they've fully figured out how it works yet, or the press release was terrible.
Yeah.
But that was essentially, they were talking about paying Arc developers, Arc mod developers, Minecraft developers.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if they know how it's going to work yet. For a number of reasons. It's just, the modding community is very chaotic, and to be able to have a marketplace...
Like, that's, I think, what they were talking about, was like, they didn't know how to verify who actually made a mod.
Yeah, exactly. And there's all these cases, for example, one big thing that's shook like the Minecraft modding community in the last 2 weeks is that the maker of a very popular mod called Thorncraft recently essentially quit due to just life pressure. You know, he has other things in his life going on. And the question is now, well, if another person, it's a private license, so currently without his permission, no one else can actually take it up. But say that was a marketplace monetized mod. And it's very common when that happens to mods for someone else to take up the flag and update it. Who gets paid? If someone else takes up the flag and updates it. Can someone else do that? It becomes much less clear, and that ability, at least when the mod maker is okay with it, for other people to continue to update an otherwise dead mod, is one of the strengths of the community. And if you were monetizing them, I can see that the licenses would have to be private, which would mean that it would be very hard for that to happen. So it would take away some of the strengths that kept the community alive for as long as it did. Yeah.
At the same time, though, I think a lot of reason why mod makers would quit is because of monetary reasons. Like they can't make money.
Oh yeah, that's
off
another side of it. Yeah.
Minecraft mods. So maybe if they were getting paid for their amazing mod, they would be more inclined to continue updating it and make it more of a full-time
Yeah,
thing.
that's
So there's some other things there that
absolutely that's definitely another strong side to it. It's it really is the private versus open source debate, really, when it comes down to that. And there's advantages to both sides. And yeah, like I would love mod makers for Minecraft to be able to make money from it, just because there's a lot of them that would love to make that their full-time jobs if they could, and end up quitting because they can't.
yeah.
So yeah, that is a big factor. It's just down to it's very hard to predict how something like that will affect a community.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, though, because it's so entrenched in the open source kind of culture, I think a lot of makers kind of object to Microsoft having any even loose ownership of the content, which would have to be part of what they're doing. You know, Microsoft would have to be able to, at least to some degree, claim ownership over the mods.
Yeah.
And I don't think many mod makers would be happy with that.
Yeah, that would
That's
definitely be
what
an issue.
Creativerse is doing, though, right?
Hmm?
I mean, Creativerse is basically just putting that built into their game, are they not?
Oh yeah, that's the thing, yeah. The difference there is that Creativerse is starting out that way, whereas Minecraft is trying to change into that. So, so for Creativerse, for example, people don't have to adjust to that, because it's always been that way. Whereas in Minecraft, there's a strong open source culture in the modding community, and if Microsoft tries to force a change to that, then that culture will have to either change or go elsewhere. Whereas for Creativerse, that's not such an issue because it hasn't developed such a strong open source culture yet. If you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm being clear or not. But,
I also, well, less of a grand scale thing that bugs me about Creativerse when relating it to Minecraft is I feel like the system they have in place with Redstone, like,
oh yeah.
crushed it in terms of, like, it's basically infinite. You know, these people build these binary computers and all this stuff, and I feel like the machines they've introduced in Creativerse are kind of nothing more than, like, to create gimmicky stuff.
They're more
You know what I mean? Like,
specific to
there's not
purpose.
that much you can do.
Well, one of the issues is that when you're creating a system like that, what you want is emergent utility. You want people to be able to do things with it that you couldn't predict. And for that, you want to give them the most generalized tools possible. And I think the difference between machines and Redstone is that a lot of the machines have very specific purposes. And this does, to a certain degree, limit creativity. But it will be interesting to see just how limited it is once more things get added. Like, for example, a big part of it is a piston analog would bring it much more in line with the options that are in Minecraft. And it could end up being nearly as flexible if we get enough options. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
I mean, you can think back to originally in Minecraft Alpha or Beta or whatever, when they originally added redstone, it was just redstone and torches, I think. I don't think there was anything else. Like, repeaters
Yeah, I
weren't a
remember
thing.
it was essentially nothing when they added it.
Yeah, so I think it's in a similar place where that they just have a basic system in place, and then they plan on adding stuff in the future.
But yeah, I think a good comparison for Creativerse versus Minecraft on that sense is, with Minecraft you're creating a circuit, whereas with Creativerse you're attaching multiple sub-circuits.
Yeah.
So
I also feel like they screwed up at the start of Creativerse if they always had this plan to implement machines. Like, it's at a place now where, like, we don't really have a way to kill mobs. or collect things, or I mean, we can phase blocks, but we can't like. The idea of pushing a block and whatnot is kind of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about
would be, I think,
pistons.
out of place.
Being able to move blocks would be a major shift.
Yeah, that's what I'd like. I don't think they have the tools in place to implement a similar thing to Redstone.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, they obviously haven't made any declarations about anything, but when I've discussed that with people in, you know, the Discord and stuff like that with devs, they have certainly hinted that they'd like to do stuff like that. So I
mean,
don't.
It's one of the biggest parts of the Minecraft community. I can't imagine they would be opposed to it.
Yeah, exactly.
The biggest thing there is, or the biggest thing with the difference between those two systems, I think, is automation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, yeah. There isn't really any gameplay benefit to doing, or to the wiring system. I mean, it's just like you said, like gimmicky stuff.
Yeah, it's for fun rather than for utility right now. Yeah.
You can automate the fan system for transportation, but teleporters are infinitely more efficient.
Yeah, and that is.
But I don't feel like the machines have anywhere to go. Like,
yeah.
You could put in a farming machine, but then it's like, why would you have any? Or even if they implemented pistons, I'm like, why would I use a piston if I have block phasers?
Yeah, that is a question. Yeah, what would be the difference between pushing a block from one place to another when you could make a block vanish from one place and appear in another place?
I also think they missed out by not, or you know, maybe it is something they'll add. I never doubt them just because they update often, and oftentimes it's things I'm surprised by. But I just feel like there's tons to farm in this game, but there's nothing that's like farmable. I mean, you have this infinite tar thing. Like, you know, if I need a bunch of leather, I can't like create some sort of strange pigsy killing thing. It's like, nope, just gotta get my sword and hunt.
Yeah, and
I've tried to do that kind of thing in the past where I funnel all the mobs in the system to a single spot so I can kill them easier, but even still, it's just sitting there holding left click with my sword.
Yeah, although admittedly, for original kind of vanilla Minecraft mechanics, the closest equivalent was you would funnel creatures into one spot from a spawner and then have them damaged by lava. So really the main difference there,
Even back then you could use fall damage, couldn't you?
You could, yeah. It
Like,
was much more awkward.
Blocks. I feel like Creativerse is missing a lot of the core mechanics that I think made Minecraft special. Like, I don't think Minecraft was special because you could build with blocks. That was cool, but I mean, unless you're super into art, that gets old. I think Minecraft sustained and is Minecraft because of all the crazy mechanics that end up in the back.
Yeah, it had a system of highly generalized mechanics. It had I can't begin to believe that Notch even remotely anticipated the level of interaction he was building into the game. I think a lot of that was luck.
Probably happy mistakes.
Yeah, a lot of that was almost certainly luck, but it ended up with a system that was almost infinitely interactable. And one of the things of Creativerse is that currently we've got a lot of disparate systems in the game, but not many of them interact with each other. So
it kind of comes back to like our discussion last week.
Yeah. Again, that's kind of I think that was really a spur forward discussion this week. But yeah, like a big thing is like the creatures don't interact with the world in the same way that they would in Minecraft. Like they don't suffer fall damage.
Yeah. I think a big example is the creeper. And Enderman to a lesser degree. They interact by destroying blocks.
Yeah,
which I don't think works as well in this game because they had the Spectre before.
Oh, this is something I didn't know about.
Which is basically a creeper analog. Yeah,
I was not aware of this. Was it like a block destroying mob?
Yeah, this was like I think this was like like R5. It was removed.
Oh yes, it was like I think 9 that I first looked at the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was removed a while ago. But for the reason that it would just get too annoying for it having it blow up your builds.
Oh yeah, that's understandable. Yeah,
But yeah,
that's the thing. It
seems funny to me for a game that's like, we were talking about, take the core mechanics of the best game in the genre, the biggest game in the genre, and tweak it to make it better. I just feel like, there's something to be said about not copying Minecraft. I totally get that. Create a different game, and they definitely have. I just feel like they lost. If you're trying to make in a similar genre, I think there's something to be said about keeping the best parts of the best game in the genre.
I absolutely agree.
I'm saying best. I'm to not anger anyone. I'm saying best is like it's the biggest. It's
most prominent,
the best selling,
most successful.
Yeah, yeah. So I totally agree with you. I think there is a lot to be said for prioritizing what works over what is innovative. And the thing is, again, it's going to be very hard to predict whether they've gone in the right direction or whether they haven't, until we see more of their vision for where the game's going.
Yeah, totally true.
In that sense, I half think it would have been, in some ways, wiser to hold off for longer on a 1.0 release.
Yeah.
Until they had
Who
more...
knows, from, like, their business...
Yeah.
They may have needed the influx of cash.
They might well have done, yeah.
Or...
Yeah. Again, that's the thing, is I can't talk from the business side. All I can see is my opinion is my kind of view of the game in isolation, really. And I think it might have been a good idea to hold off for longer, just for the sake of, players' expectations now when they come to the game, understandably, are that this is largely what you get. However, they've made it very clear, if you're more familiar with them, that the current game is in no way close to being a finished product.
The end game.
Yeah. So it's... So there's a lot to be said there.
We are coming up on 50 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So.
Okay, yeah, we've rambled for a long time.
Yes, we have.
And there's probably still a lot we haven't covered as well.
There was a good 20 minutes off topic.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what this is. Kind of almost a podcast in a way. So you have to expect some off-topicness. But yeah, like, I'm sure there's lots of stuff we haven't covered. At least for myself, I know I am utterly zombified right now by lack of sleep, so I'm not thinking all that clearly. So, guys, leave comments on, if there's stuff we left out, then leave a comment, continue the discussion. It's always, it's great seeing all the really good points. Every video we've made, there's been a bunch of comments that have brought up stuff that I wish I'd thought to mention myself. So absolutely keep on with that. It's great seeing the massive amount of input we've had.
Doing stuff like this, I mean, especially with this topic, it could necessitate like a follow-up video. Maybe not next week or whatever.
But eventually, yeah. And we
eventually it could use just a follow-up so we can respond to different subjects people brought up and that kind of thing. So
yeah, that would actually be an interesting idea. Yeah, we might well do that. But yeah, I apologize for us keeping you here for 50 minutes. I had no idea it was that long. Wow.
If you made it to the end, let us know.
Yeah.
Interested to see. Hi.
And thank you for your masochism.
Thanks for indulging in our narcissism.
Yeah, for validating our sad existences. By sitting here and listening to us for 50 minutes. Wow. But yeah, we all have YouTube channels, so whoever you are watching us on, there will be links to the other people's channels in the description.
Mm-hmm. If you like this world here, CuriousKey's world.
Yep, this is my world. I have a Let's Play series of me building all of the crazy stuff in this world, and it will be continuing as well. In fact, now I've had a bit more done on the walls, I'll feel a bit better about putting out another video soon, because there have been some progress. So, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the discussion we've had here today, and catch us next time for the next rambly, largely off-topic, crazy discussion.
Yes. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for coming by.
Bye.
See you later.
You're not going to say bye again, are you, Sloppy?
Nope. I still don't think we need